kids? Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Need help affording internet at home? The Affordable Connectivity Program can help. If you qualify for SNAP, SSI, Medicaid, Federal Housing Assistance, or have KK in the free and reduced lunch programs, then you may be eligible to receive a discount on your monthly internet bill. With affordable internet, you can video chat with your Ohana, visit your doctor without going into the office, or help your keiki with learning from home. Learn more about the Affordable Connectivity Program. Visit broadband.hawaii.gov/ACP.
You're listening to the Voice of Maui, community-supported radio, 88.5 FM, KAKU.
Maui's free speech station.
I give no strings, I have good fun. I no more ties with anyone.
KAKU 88.5 FM.
This is KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui.
Yeah, man. You know what time it is. Welcome, everybody, to Pure Awareness. I just want to make mention that at some point, you will realize that the world you are trying to rule is your world. Everybody wants to rule the world, but which world do you want to rule? There's one planet Earth. There's 9 billion worlds on planet Earth. Which world are you living in? What does that world look like? What does that world feel like? What does it smell like, you know? Like, how detailed do you want to be? How creative do you want to be in creating your world? Who said you can't create your world? So this is Pure Awareness. I'm your host, Dr. Eyan Wanderer. Today we will be talking about masculinity and how we can coexist as the Gen X generation and the Gen Z generation. How is it that these new elders, which I am a part of that generation, how are the new elders embracing the now leaders, the now kings of humanity? Divine masculinity, it exists as an energy and it exists throughout time and generations. So it doesn't belong to one generation, doesn't belong to one model, doesn't belong to one gender. So therefore, younger generation got something to say too, y'all. And I'm all ears. So what we're talking about today. I'm happy you all are here. I'm happy you tuned in. Thank you so very much. What I really want to do right now is take a couple of minutes to connect with you. I want to pull a card. I don't know if you guys are into just affirmation cards, or some people, I don't know if you want to call it tarot or religion, whatever. I don't look at it that way. I do this for specifically, intentionally to, connect to spirit, connect to help me get grounded and help me, uplift my spirit. So what I do is I pull a card, and then I just assume that whatever the card is, when I read it, and whatever the image is, whatever the message is, that's a message from divine. And that's something that inspires me and encourages me to continue to, do what it is I do. And so this is something I do every morning, and I love introducing you guys to my life. Okay, here's one. This one popped out right here. I'm going to go with this one. What does it say? Sacred connection. Look at that. Sacred connection. I know you guys listening can't see it, but it's 2 elephants right here on the image, and they are just like connecting. They have their foreheads pressed against one another. Their trunks are entangled with one another. It looks as if it's one elephant, but it's 2 elephants. And what that's saying is that when you connect with another being, with yourself, it comes off as one. It's one energy. It comes off as one entity, one thing that's inspiring and encouraging. This is where your dreams can be manifested, when you see everything as a sacred connection. And that's what I love. That's what I love about living here on Maui and Hawaii, man. It's just a connection to the Aina, to the land, to the spirit. It's a connection. This place speaks to me, you know. It feels like home. So when I talk about ruling your world and creating your world, this is the world I created. This is the world I wanted to be in. A place where there's aloha, where there's welcoming and inclusiveness and love. So yeah, that's what it's all about for me, y'all. And I just want to say thank you to Helping Men Heal LLC, who is sponsoring this episode today. The great work that they do out here in the community, helping men better their lives, basically. I mean, there's no really, I'm not trying to do a commercial for them or nothing, but it's like there's no better way to say it. What they do is help men better their lives. And that's a lot of it. What I've witnessed is that it's them showing up and offering the gift of time, the gift of energy, the gift of presence, you know what I mean? And that connection that we were just talking about, that sacred connection. So shout out to Helping Men Heal LLC. I got the Kings that's going to be here today. King Tech is here too, y'all. Finally, you know what I mean? He's always just all over the place, busy man. And but it's nice to have the King Tech here. King Al won't be here today physically, but he's here in spirit. And then we got King Eyan here as well. So, man, you already know how we get down, man. It's pure awareness, and it's just all about authenticity. It's all about just you showing up presently. And let's see if we could get this sacred connection going amongst one another. So what am I going to do right now? What we're going to do right now is we're going to play a little bit of music real quick, and then I'm going to go get the Kings, and then we just going to do it like that, y'all. So I'll be right back. Again, if you guys want to reach out and you've got a question, you want to tune in, give us a call, KAKU Studio, 808-873-3435. I guarantee you. I got nothing. I'm sorry. I got nothing. I'll be right back. Yeah. Oh
Hello.
boy. Oh boy.
I'm on.
Hey y'all. Y'all here?
Mic check 1 2.
All right. All
One,
right.
two, 1 2. 1 2.
Oh boy.
One,
Oh
two.
boy. Hey, close that door for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me hit some of that octane on here. Huh?
All right. Yeah, man, we back. Emanon Wanderer, your host of Pure Awareness, here with the Kings. And we are talking today about masculinity, mental health, and all that good stuff. But we got a special surprise. We're going to get into a conversation about how we, as new elders and old school, we are now considered old school, by the way, King Eyan. I don't know if you knew that. We are definitely old school right now. So we were talking about, like, we're going to be able to hear from our younger kings, right, of the now generation. That's what I like to say. The now generation. We're going to hear from Jeremy Newer. And this kid, man, this I call him kid. I mean, you know, only because he grew up with me. Like, I knew him when he was like a kid, like 7, 8, whatever. I worked for his parents' company. And long story short, the kid is like 20-something years old now. He's an emerging technology apprentice, and what that means is that he's learning how to communicate and rule, and not rule, but coexist in the world that we're now living in, which is like technology, right?
Right.
So this is beautiful to have a king who is just very centered, right? Doing the work is what I want to say. This guy has done the work, and I know this because he grew up in. I just know the family he grew up in, so he's done the work. He's definitely a divine masculine. And so we're going to get his perspective on masculinity nowadays. But before we get into that, because King Tech is here, and I'm going to put him on the spot, y'all, because he's been shaking the spot. You know how when you was in school, and you absent, they call it been absent from class?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like you've been absent from class, bruh. So, we just want to bring you we want to bring the attention to the union and say, where you been? Who are you? Now introduce yourself.
Yeah, how you doing, everybody out there? My name is my real name is Kenneth Brown. I go by the name of Tech Jagger. You can look me up online as Tech Jagger. But anywho, the topic today is about helping men heal, and we are here today. And sorry for the wait, everybody. But
where you been?
I've been around. I've been actually trying to I've been trying to find myself. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on in my personal life. And this is the reason why we're here today, because we're kings and we are helping each other, trying to heal. And we will help each other heal in due time. And this is a process, and you must trust the process. And I've been absent, trying to make everything work with the radio show and get my own brand out there, and taking care of family and children and things of that nature. So it's a pleasure though to finally be here with you. You look good as always, brother. Thank you for having me on today.
You look like 10 years younger since I cut the hair. Since you cut the hair, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And most people, just real quick, I know y'all probably been seeing our trailer that's floating around about divine masculine. That's our
you had me up on there with that goddamn hair,
introduction to our lives and us becoming divine masculine,
man, like you just said.
Tech went through a physical change transformation. So in the film, he has, I don't know, he looks just like a brother that's been through some things. A brother that's been through some things. But now he stands before us as a brother who's been through some things.
Yes, it was a process.
Yeah, a king.
It was a process. Yeah. It was a process. It was about time that I let that situation go. That was all right. That was me living in the past. That was me living in somebody else's light and shadow. That was not me stepping out into my own, feeling comfortable in my own skin, saying, "Listen, this is what I have to do to help me take a step forward to heal." This is a spontaneous, but not only spontaneous, but just a very authentic and much needed transformation for me to start feeling good about myself. So with everything said, because I was growing my hair out, they said, "Oh, here is power." I get it. Here is power. It just wasn't my power.
So let's pause on that, because I love that segue, because I want to know about your power, because that's what we talk about. We talk about how we run our kingdom and how we can support another king's kingdom. And all that good stuff. So we'll get into the power a little later. Check in with King Eyan, man. How you feeling? What you doing? What's up?
I'm doing good.
What's this, your third time here?
This is my third time here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, everything
keeping an accurate account of.
I know how many times
you've had three.
I know
you've had 3 absences, bro.
And now finally,
they say 3 strikes and you're out. It's really 4, right? So technically, no, I'm just kidding.
One, but
you'll never be out here.
Yeah, no, all is good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the drum circle, and that's what I'm looking forward all week.
Today?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking forward to tomorrow. For the drum circle.
It's
the little things like that,
The circle must be really powerful, huh?
Yeah, man.
I mean, are you saying
it's my meditation? That is my meditation. That's my
Speak
power.
More on that. Yeah.
Going and being surrounded by a tribe that's all moving together, that's all being, they're individuals, but all together, coming together and just letting loose. And then there's me with my eyes closed. I don't see anybody. Like all this, beautiful chaos is happening around me. My eyes are closed. Anything could be happening. I am in the rhythm, and that's my meditation. That's where I pull power from to get me through the week.
Wow, man.
And then I look forward to it in my week.
Yeah.
So it ends my week on the perfect note, and it begins my week with all the energy and power and frequency lifting that I need to push me through that week again, you know. And when I don't have it, I find it elsewhere, but it's really good.
It's Fridays and Sundays, correct?
Fridays and Sundays.
Yeah.
So
I don't make it to every single one. I gotta work. I gotta work, but I'm doing good.
I've been curious about it, but I don't know.
Well,
teach his own.
So let me say this. Thank you, brothers, for the check-in. I saw a nice theme happening with like one king saying I'm transitioning and discovering and taking the time to honor myself in that discovery, and then another king articulating the way that he has done his discovery and is still discovering, and this is the way he discovers by maintaining a consistent schedule of drum circle. You know what I mean? That's a power. So, and me, much of the same. I do both, of what you guys are saying. I feel like I'm always in a constant state of discovering and establishing is what I should say. So with that being said, Jay, we're gonna part and take a break real quick, y'all, and then when we come back, we are gonna get into this conversation about how the new elders, which is us old heads right here in this radio station, how is Gen X kings communicating and co-merging, right? That's the word we kind of came up with. How can this new generation, the now kings, co-merge with the old kings?
Absolutely.
And I really do feel like it's not, well, it may be elders in terms of like age-wise, but in experience, but we're all kings, man. We're all establishing. So when we come back, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna hear from Jeremy Newer. And then we're just gonna kind of flow off of what we hear from this younger king. All right, we'll be right back, y'all. This is Pure Awareness, KAKU Studio. Yay! Yeah. Welcome back, y'all. Pure Awareness. Your host, Eman Wanderer, here with the Divine Masculine and the Kings of Maui. Not Kings of Maui, but the Kings in Maui. King Tech, we got King Eyan. And what I want to do right now, y'all, is I want to play this interview. Like I said, this younger king that I've known since he was a kid, and just watched him grow up in this family who taught him how to just be divine masculine, to be authentic, to be truthful to himself, and to be honest with himself and with others. So he grew up in this culture of like already knowing how to show up and communicate who he is. And so I just want us to hear from him. I asked him, like, how would he define masculinity? You know what I mean? Because honestly, when I was growing up, I didn't have an option to define, you know, who I was gonna be as a man. It was told to me in our generation, Gen X. It was just like, hey, this is the example: 9 to 5, go to war, protect your family. You know what I mean? Provide for your family. Like this is, and it's not crapping on it. It's saying that was our model. However, there was also this idea of expanding and exploring humanity and consciousness and developing myself as a king. So how can I do that if I'm under another man's kingdom all the time, which is our parents, our elders, blah, blah, blah. So I want y'all to hear what he has to say, and then we'll just kind of talk about that. Yeah? Cool?
Okay,
all right,
let's
cool.
do it.
All right. Let me play it.
Hey, Amanon. My name is Jeremy. I'm calling in from California Bay Area, talking a little bit about masculinity. For some context, I am a senior in high school, so I've spent the last 4 years going through high school. I'll talk a little bit about kind of my assumptions or my conclusions, shall we say, having been through that. The first thing I want to say about masculinity and how it's perceived is that I find often that people think too much masculinity is seen as arrogance or toxicity. What is too much masculinity? I don't know. It's for each person who is kind of making a judgment of a guy. They'll say, oh, that guy is too masculine. It's toxic masculinity. They're arrogant. They are toxic. And I'll give you an example. I have a friend who, let's call him Bob. I have a friend, Bob, who has very good posture. He walks straight with his back straight, his shoulders down, in like a firm, confident stride. And people are like, oh my gosh, he's just so cocky. Like you can see it by the way he walks. Like there's like a judgment that's made based off of that confident stride. Another one, for example, is with working out, right? Being strong, being fit is good, but the idea of a quote-unquote gym bro, someone who is going to the gym all the time and is working out and cares a lot about their gains, that has the same type of judgment, right? A lot of even girls I'll talk to, like when they say gym bro, it's not a positive connotation. Along with it comes, oh, that person is cocky, that person, would not be fun to hang around with because they would just be so full of themselves. So those are a few examples of how masculinity can easily be taken in stride along with these other things, along with toxicity, along with arrogance. And it's not to say that some of these guys who portray a lot of masculinity, some of them are high ego, some of them are very arrogant and self-absorbed, but I wouldn't say it's the majority, and I would say it leads to a subconscious judgment that affects all guys, regardless of whether or not they're arrogant, because I think it becomes like just a more general judgment. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Wow.
All right. So let me just recap real quick and let that sink in for a second. So we have this 20-something year old Gen Z king speaking on the topic of masculinity and what it looks like for him and his generation. And what I heard a lot of is it's not so different from what I grew up on. I think our generation grew up under, which is like appearance was more everything. That, you know what I mean? Like, this is what a man looks like. There was not a lot of focus on how does a man feel about himself and how does a man see himself, but there was like, you look like this. Like he talked about his friend who walks upright and this and that. And even at that time, for me, honestly, I would see guys like that, and where I grew up, I'd be like, yeah, they are arrogant. But it was because of my insecurity. But anyway, we'll go to that later. But I want to ask y'all, since y'all some old heads, what you think?
After you.
I think
Look, he already doing the old man like. Let me clear my throat enough.
The young king sound right on point. I feel like that he has a lot of great points that he point out as far as people stereotyping masculinity because somebody wants to stay fit and work out and cares about their health and wants to look like a king, not also just want to look like a king, but walk like a king and carry themselves like a king, that the divine masculine, the masculinity of a man is perceived as being cocky. That's not the case. That man just cares about himself and how he carries himself.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. I beg to differ on how society views men that want to take care of themselves. Ooh. That make themselves look. I'm overweight. And I'm working on my health as well. I've been up, I've been down, I've been very fit at one point. 2020 took a toll on me. I'm now overweight. I'm trying to. So now, look at me now, for instance. I still carry myself in a certain manner. Yeah. But when I get myself in shape, now, do I have to worry about society looking at me as a cocky individual and not people wanting not to be around me because, he's not the fat guy anymore. So now that he's in shape, that he thinks he's better than us, or you get what I'm saying? Like that was, bro. What you said was deep. Yeah. Because it hit right on home. So I was sitting there listening like, wow. So now when I get myself in order and I get myself in shape, this is the way society, the people that hung around me once going to be like, well, we don't want to hang around him no more because he thinks he's this and he thinks he's that now. Why? Because I want to take care of myself.
It's almost like it's a lose-lose situation for a man who wants to really start to develop and discover and improve himself. It's like it's lose-lose because it's like health, it's like when you're right there, like how you saying, like how you are right now, you're looked at in society like, oh, fat, sloppy, this and that, not taking care of himself. But then I take care of myself, and now I'm looked at as, oh, you ain't got time for me, you arrogant. It's lose-lose. Let's hold on to that.
All right.
What you got, King Eyan?
I just want to address what you just said.
Please.
All right. You said you kind of did some assuming there. You said, fat, sloppy. No. When I heard that, I thought, you have some softness to you right now.
Yeah, a little tenderness.
No, it really.
He threw a whole bunch of X, Y,
why you got? Why you got?
Come on, I gotta call you out. You know that.
First of all, y'all know King Eyan is the lover, right? He's really powerful in his lover.
And I say,
medicine. So yes,
I say the softness brings people in.
Absolutely,
makes them feel actually more comfortable, as if.
That's an assumption, though. How do you know? Everybody? It makes everybody feel more comfortable?
No, I'm saying this is how I took what he was saying.
Yes.
It's like, people are comfortable coming up to me because I have some extra weight on me. They feel like maybe I'm more vulnerable than them, so they can approach me kind of thing.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And now, on the flip side, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, by the way. Because I know well, thank you for saying that. First of all, thank you for honoring yourself and feeling the need to address, what you heard and interpreted from me. And I appreciate that, and I honor that, and I welcome that. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Not to cut either one of you off.
Yeah.
You see how you said it was a lose-lose? See your perspective on it and his perspective on it.
Two different ones.
It's two different perspectives.
Yeah.
But you be damned if you don't, you be damned if you do.
Yeah, well,
but that's your perspective on it, right?
Because
it's you.
I'm the one that's exactly.
Right.
I'm the one that actually has to live inside of my skin and go through whatever I'm going through.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody wants to feel inadequate in a situation or in a room because of he or she weight.
Damn.
That doesn't justify or that doesn't sum you up as a person.
No.
Because of
appearance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That does not make you who you are because you are overweight or you have a few extra pounds on you and you don't fit into society's rules. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But then when you feel you had enough and you got the kid that goes into the gym and loses all this weight and now has confidence within himself.
Yeah.
Now you have
That's
that
good.
lose-lose because now it's like, he's acting different now.
Yeah.
Or he's not carrying himself the same.
Yeah.
When deep down inside, I'm still the same person. I just look different, and I'm more confident within myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when actually, what's his name that was on the phone call?
Jeremy. Yeah.
When Jeremy was talking about that, you know, I was thinking, well, there are those people that will make that assumption. There's the people, any characteristic about our body or the way we carry ourselves or the way we do our hair or whether we're clean or we're dirty, we smell good, we smell bad. You know, people just are constantly judging.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of the way our system is built up. Like it started back in the day when it was newspapers, and then it was magazines, and then everyone was addicted to the magazines. And they're seeing what are the trends, and if you're not on the trend, then you're off the trend, and I'm going to make some sort of judgment upon you. Now we have TVs, and then we have internet, and now we have cell phones, and I mean, we're bombarded by constant judgment.
Yeah.
This is attractive.
Yeah.
This is attractive.
You know,
and then this is not attractive.
Yeah, because of the card I pulled earlier, you know, the sacred connection, and what I'm hearing and interpreting what you're saying is that we're still connecting, but is it sacred? You know what I mean? Because now we're implementing new instruments and modalities of how I can connect with, like we're talking about Jeremy. How can I share with him, like, bro, I'm not judging you, and I'm an older guy. So how do I do that through the newer ways of communicating? You know, does that make it sacred? Does it take away from it? I mean,
you know, maybe you just you say those people are going to exist. You can't take those people away. Yeah. Now, there's going to be people. There's going to be people that say you're beefed up. Yeah. You're looking real good because you hit that gym every single day.
I do. Oh, and I will say that, but, King Eyan. I mean, I am beefed. I look the best I ever looked in my life. Anyway, I know it ain't
you
about
start
me,
taking some testosterone and stuff like that. You start doing some real builds, like steroids or whatever. Okay. You get real jacked up and stuff.
Okay.
Some of those guys, I'm going off board now.
But no, because he talked about gym bros. So,
right. Yeah. Some of those guys, they're actually the most sensitive people in the world. And you can hurt their feelings so bad that they will literally cry.
Flex, drop a bomb on them.
I was taking this guy with these huge arms through the cave, lava tube, and where it gets tight and low and stuff.
Well, you might want to explain that. There's a lot of sexual innuendos.
All right, there's a lava tube. There's a lava tube. You go inside of it. He was with his wife.
No, you're still not.
All right.
Yo.
My bad. Maybe it's just me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. My mind is kind of, pause, please, all the way.
Imagine you're on a hike. You're in nature.
Okay, we're on a hike.
And there's a cave. It happens to be a lava tube.
Okay.
And I say, okay, we can go all the way through this lava tube and pop out the other side.
I'm with you.
And there's this beautiful banyan tree.
Okay.
He says, okay. I say, you're not claustrophobic, are you? No, we're not claustrophobic. This guy is beefy, really big.
Yeah.
And we get in where it starts getting low and it gets dark. And I mean, it's dark. We got our flashlights out. And he's first. And he just automatically was like, I can't do this. I got to get out.
Oh my God!
He's like,
while you're in the thick of it,
trembling in his voice and stuff, and he's trying to push through me, and I grabbed onto his arm, and it was like grabbing onto a log, and I'm like, no, wait, you're almost there. You just got to take 2 more steps. Wait, and I'm like holding this huge guy, and he's trembling.
Wow!
And he goes like 2 more steps, sees the light.
Okay.
Totally fine. His wife is dying laughing, just crying. And for me to see that guy be so vulnerable, it didn't surprise me.
Interesting.
It didn't, but I grew up different. I grew up around
that's what I'm saying.
People.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the beauty of what I'm hearing you say, and what I'm hearing Jeremy say, what I'm hearing Tech say, and what I interpret about this whole thing. It's like, it is gonna look different and feel different, taste different, smell different, and sound different because of where we were developing. You know what I mean? And designing our king. Like, we're here now today, I feel like owning our kingdoms. Like, I look at you brothers and I'm like, yes, this is King Eyan, this is King Tech, this is how he's choosing to honor himself and honor his connections. Like, I want to learn about his kingdom, right? I'm not coming with this is how you do it. You see what I'm saying? So it's interesting. That's why I say I love that perspective you have of that. It's gonna be different based on every person.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Let me just finish this up, because I got to circle back to what I originally was saying.
Okay.
Some people are gonna look at you like that. Mm-hmm. They have a voice.
Yes,
and they
matter.
are just projecting their view of things. And you know what? Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank them for that.
Yes.
I appreciate you letting me know how you feel, and I will be around the people that actually want to be around me because of me and not the way I look.
So did you just say you are honoring yourself and choosing yourself and self-care, all that stuff Tech was talking about, and you're is that what that is? That's the self-love and masculinity that works?
If that's
of course, I'm being sarcastic and plenty advocate. I'm asking you, Tech, too. Like, does that work? Like, can I still, quote unquote, look like a man, feel like a man, be a man, while taking care of myself?
As long as you feel comfortable in your own skin. It really doesn't matter what society thinks about you. It's about how you feel.
Is that easier said than done, though?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Because this is my kingdom.
Okay.
God said our body is a living temple. Correct?
Okay. I have heard that. Yes.
So my whole thing about me, waking up, I just had this epiphany, and I had to wake up and smell the fresh harvest. No, for real. This is for real. I woke up and I smelled the fresh harvest, because when you look back at the beginning of the time, we always looked at what society should think. Like, come on, man. Like, the society that I was brought up in, maybe you were brought up in, we was always taught to be like, you got to be tough.
Yeah.
You got to be this. You got to be that. You got to be hard. We're human beings. We all have feelings. That old way that we thought before is played out. It is done.
Not in a good way.
Wow.
It is done. It is over. It's over for me. It's over for my children. It's over for my children's children. I want to show them that my son, I'm going to say something crazy right now. Like, we're going to get off the internet and all that. I'm going to just be real.
Censor show, family show.
We have, I have a son that, man, his relationship isn't too well right now.
May I ask how old is he?
5.
Okay.
But I think he's starting to resent me because of the relationship that I have with my daughter, his sister. Starting to see that me and her are real close, and me and him doesn't have too much of a relationship because we live on different islands. It breaks my heart, and I'm just being honest as a human being, as a man. I want the best for both my children. I love them both equally. Do I have a closer relationship with my daughter? Yeah. But my son is definitely just as important to me than my daughter is. And I don't want my son feeling like that. He can't be vulnerable with me. He can't be soft with me. He can't express himself to his dad because he can. You know what I mean? Man, my dad has been speaking actually for the last few days, and he was terribly upset with me for a lot of decisions that I have been making. And my dad ain't never really been there for me. But I can't change the past.
Okay.
But we can make the future brighter. We can change that narrative on how our future is perceived. And he's being the best father they could be, and he's being a hell of a grandfather. Kind of makes me jealous. To be honest with you, it's like it's kicking my behind. Cause I'm like, wow, you really put a lot of energy into my children, but you didn't put this energy in towards your children. But I can't fault him for what he was going through back then.
Right. Like what they say, if he knew better, he'd do better.
Exactly.
Right? Maybe. Yeah.
So now he's giving my children that love and that confidence and that vulnerability, and he's showing that vulnerable side of him as a man. I never seen this man cry. I never seen this man care the way he cares now. This man cares tremendously for my children and for me. And I want to change the narrative for not just young black men, but all men around the world. Not just America, around the world. You don't have to be the macho man. You just have to be a man. You have to care, you have to have a heart, and you have to have some sort of sensitivity. And you can still be masculine at the same time. And that's my take on it.
That is what masculine is.
And I appreciate you,
Talk
King,
about
for
that.
actually
Yeah.
allowing me up here
Thank
to
you.
speak that. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that story.
Thank you, guys.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
God, I love hearing that.
Which part? I mean, it's like,
yeah. Our parents are just people.
Yeah.
Just like you and I.
Right.
We're not getting this right the first time, all the time. And it's detrimental to people's childhood. But there's nothing we can do about it. We're learning our lessons, and you learn this lesson and this lesson.
As you
You
go
do
along.
better, you do better, you do better. But hey, I started right here. It took me a while, and I'm sorry. But can we move forward instead of looking backward? Who are you today? And then, let's step forward from today as two people connecting with one another. You're my parent. You were there for me or you weren't there for me. And it doesn't matter because you're here right now.
Oh, man. That's
Beautiful,
bro.
It really
beautiful.
brings joy to me, and also like the sincerity and everything you're saying in your voice. Us as adults, and when we're children, we don't know any better. That's why we're innocent. When we become adults and we have the right to know what's right and wrong, that's when we start to make mistakes, but it's okay to make mistakes. We have to learn from them, and we have to move forward as human beings and as a nation, as a people, to teach the ones after us what's right and wrong, because we're going through life and we're still experimenting and learning as we go along. Our parents,
That's good.
You know what I mean? Like, what is a good parent? A parent thinks because you give your kid the world and spoil them and enable them that you're a good parent. How you know you're not setting your kid up for failure? Because you never let them learn anything on their own. You was always there to catch them when they fall. Sometimes you might gotta let your kid fall on their behind a few times and scrape themselves up to actually learn what's right and wrong.
100, bro. 100. Dang.
You can have all the money in the world and still be a horrible parent.
It's like, you're absolutely right. It's like that thing about kids, my parents would spend a lot of money on a Christmas gift. And at that age, I was so in love with the box and the wrapping paper. You know what I mean? It was like, but you need to play with this. No, I remember these experiences of like, no, this is the toy, this is the prize, this is the thing that I efforted to get. But with me, like Tech saying, it's like, but I'm happy with this. I mean, can you support me being happy with this? And I think that's the wave that we're moving in. The perfect way to describe it is this movie with Matt Damon. It's called Adjustment Bureau. And long story short, that movie is about two individuals. This guy who was on a path that was designed and it was the straight and narrow path. He's a politician guy, buttoned up. He was the look, right? He was living that life, and then something happened. Something happened that his desire manifested, which is the woman, right? This woman of his dreams manifested, and she was totally different than anything he was supposed to be with. He was engaged and this and that, but he was like, wait a minute, my heart wants this.
Exactly.
And so the movie is about basically him, the society matrix, trying to get him to get back on the path, the right path, but he's like, wait a minute, this feels right to me. And so at the end of it, it's about him learning that this story is being created as I step. So when you're talking about like, yeah, our parents raised us the best because that's what they knew at the time. However, we now know that every step I take, I'm creating a chapter. I'm creating this definition of man. I'm creating my life, but I have to take steps, bruh. I can't sit and stew and
what we're doing is right. Who knows? Because we're learning as we go
They can't.
along.
You know why? I feel like because who else is the expert on King Tech? You see what I'm saying? Like only King Tech can you say educate me on.
I love that.
Only King Ian can educate me on a King Ian's life. So why would I dare try to implement and force my perspectives and lenses? And again, I'm guilty of it because that's what society was.
I think it's
time.
important. It's actually to give those perspectives. It's just
how we get
it's
history.
more important to not take people's perspectives too emotionally. Personally.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's just a perspective.
Yes.
Take it or leave it.
Yes.
When you walk away from that person, you don't have to be who they were saying.
Right.
But you could actually pull a little something from that and say, you know what? Maybe I am being a certain way. And I'm aware of that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. And so next time when I am that way, I can choose whether I want to be that way or I don't.
Yeah.
And I want to be a different way.
Yeah.
And then I can adjust myself accordingly. So it's important that people have their opinions and are comfortable enough to actually voice their opinions, even if it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because it can make you better, and you should listen.
You know what else about that? What I love is that it's like now I get to challenge and hold myself accountable as a king to say, oh, can I just receive this king's perspective? Or if it's affecting me so much that I need to control his kingdom, because it's only affecting me if I want the control. Like if I'm,
and you can never control
and I can never
another man's kingdom.
Exactly. So now we're in a place of like that's why I feel we have, and that's why I think like we are the new elders, and we're becoming that example of divine masculine for our young kings like Jeremy, so they can see like, yeah, man, I can be both divine masculine, divine feminine. I can be balanced in my energies and be able to just pursue what my heart wants, knowing that I have the intellect and the wisdom and the history of a warrior, of a king to utilize past principles and solutions as well. So ultimately what I'm saying is like, right now the divine masculine understands that I can live in both worlds and present and write this story because I have history and I'm also creating future. So I'm just walking in my greatness.
Yep.
And I think it's beautiful to hear a 20-something, a young king talk this way. But then again, I think about your son, 5 years old. You know what I mean? It's just like now that's a newer king that's now gonna be. You see how our like magic is being passed down, and it just like and it's not saying again. I just really want to point this out because I really respect and love my elders. I really do. However, older does not mean elder. You know what I mean? So what I want to say on that is that the principles and the guidelines and the truths and the wisdom that my parents and my grandparents and the people that I talk to on island, it's like, yes, I'll listen to all of that. I'll receive all of that. I honor all of that. Are you honoring what I receive, and how I now take that and make it something that feels right for me and my family, my case? You know what I mean? Like, is that being honored? You know what I mean? And I think that's why I don't want to run into with our younger kings, and I don't want them looking at us and saying like, man, bro, I just opened my heart and said I'm doing something different than what you did, and you're not even respecting that. And it's just like, ooh, I don't want that to happen.
I think that even the younger generation, they can be the elders.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, King. See, I love. Keep going. Sorry.
No.
Yes, I love. Yes,
Please,
keep going.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, I love
all
that.
I'm saying is, I listen to some of these younger generation men on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's like this kid is brilliant. He's so wise beyond his years. He is an elder. He should be in the group teaching. We need people like these young guys that actually have a good mind, like a articulate, what's it called? Logic.
Okay.
An articulate logic where they can just present themselves and say, this is me, and I'm not going to let any of you change who I am.
Right.
And this is how I feel.
Right.
And this should be okay with you. I love these guys, and I want to bring them in. I would love to
Let's
even
do it.
talk
Yeah,
to this
absolutely.
guy.
Yeah.
But there's other kids out there.
Here's why I love what you said, because I made one of those, and again I think my heart wasn't making the assumption that we are better than or older than no more, but it can be interpreted that way. So I want to correct what I was saying.
Older doesn't mean elder.
Thank you.
Younger
older does not mean elder. Younger does not mean
that you can't
ignorant.
be enough.
We'll figure something out like that. But
it's not like that.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not.
We'll figure it out,
because it's not a physical thing. Just like Jeremy was talking about, like they're still dealing with that whole like, oh, he's buff and he looks like a man, so that's a man. But it's like when another man walks in and he doesn't, he's walking maybe more feminine or not as more loose or soft. Like how dare I say you're not a man? How dare I not honor this king and how he wants to show up? You know what I mean? So
can I iterate on something as far as you saying about like older, like is not elder? That goes a prime example. I think by that age, 5, 6, 7, when we start growing into not just toddler, but now becoming little boys, and then little boys become into young men.
Okay. Yeah.
Testing our boundaries.
Yeah. We start understanding what we want in life, though.
Yeah.
We start knowing and understanding what's right and what's wrong. Like, children will be like, okay, they make mistakes. True indeed. When we get older, it's like you keep making the same mistake expecting a different result is insanity.
Yeah. Right.
So I was going through something with someone, and this person just kept breaking my heart, just kept stepping all over me. And it took me to be like, you know what, why care about anybody else and their actions? Because if they don't respect themselves, how can they respect you?
Ooh, wait, bro.
So take a step back.
Dang. Say that again, bro. Like,
you can't expect anyone to treat you well and treat you good and love you if they don't love themselves. If they don't treat themselves with respect and treat themselves with love, they're not going to love you. They're going to step all over you and hurt you just as much as they're going to hurt themselves, because they don't care about themselves.
So in other words, they're loving you the way they love themselves.
Absolutely.
So we can't see it as love.
Hurt people,
but hurt people. Like, we can interpret it as hurt.
That same
hurt
thing.
people.
Hurt people.
So you're going to sit back and allow this hurt person to continue to hurt you and bring your energy down? Or you're going to step back and say, whoa, hold on. I know the difference because I am an adult. I am not a child anymore. Stop letting this person string you along and treat you like you a child. Stop whining like a child. Stop having temper tantrums.
This is you telling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I dig it.
Absolutely.
I could dig it. Yeah.
You need to stand up. Like, absolutely. You need to stand up, Kenneth, as a man.
Yeah, man.
And show that masculinity. Because you are a king. You are a man.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's your defining. You know what I mean?
And there's nothing wrong with being a man.
And it's not your ego saying that I'm a king.
No, it's my intuition.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's me as a human being.
It's annoying.
Like,
it's annoying.
I mean, like, what do? We sit here and just let ourselves be victims of somebody else's circumstances because they don't care about themselves?
Yes, because that's what we were taught, right? Me playing the advocate, I'm just saying, right? We have all those years of that study.
And guess what? Now you know the difference.
Hold on. Now you're talking King
now
Tech.
You know the difference.
King Tech. Now you're talking.
You know the difference.
Here's the question, though. Here's the question.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll probably have to continue this, y'all. But I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna drop the question. We'll do the recap, and then we'll close it out. But the question is, it's like, when does that prompt happen?
When you had enough.
What?
When
Can you wait? Hold on, man.
I know because I lived it. I'm a living testament.
Yeah.
I'm a living testament. When you had enough, when enough is enough, and you want to stand on your own 2 feet as a man and conquer your own world and make you in your kingdomship. When you're ready to sit back and be like, listen, I am a king. This is my kingdomship. Can nobody rule this thing but me? That's when you stand up as a man on your own 2 feet as a king.
Up.
Exactly. You pick yourself up. You march forward and you take your kingdom with you and you strive for the best. Thank you guys for having me
and
today.
If you need a hand, take a hand.
Of course, that's why you brothers.
Where you going? Where are you going? Why are you saying bye?
No.
We got 3 minutes.
I'm shaking his hand because, like he said, and I asked you for help many a times. I say on the air, I asked you for help many a times. Yeah. It's at the end of the day, you cannot sit back and know the difference and know what's right and wrong and continue to do wrong. Ooh. There has to be a point where you sit back and you have to say, my man, you're a grown ass man. What we doing? What we doing, brother?
Reach for me, please. I need a hand.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We gonna do this or we gonna pretend to do this?
Wow.
You only can fake it for so long.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no more. You cannot sit back and let nobody else control your kingdom if you're a king. You have to be the leader, the alpha, omega, and the apex predator that you were designed to be as a man to lead your kingdom. And it's okay to have a strong queen behind you. But you stand on your own 2 feet first. And love yourself.
Come on. Yeah.
You gotta love yourself first before you love somebody else.
Come on.
That's where we at right now.
King N, can you summarize what you got? Last words?
Please.
Thank you, King Tech.
Thank you so much.
I got nothing.
I know, right? I know.
I'm still processing.
I know, right?
I love you guys.
All right. So listen.
No matter what. I love
all right, listen, y'all. We appreciate y'all stopping by, man.
Did I go left field?
No, man.
Did I go left field
hope
with
you
this?
enjoyed yourselves. This is King Imanon. This is Pure Awareness. This was the Divine Masculine, the Kings in Maui, man. And I just want to leave it with this, man. The sacred connection. You know, the card that we pulled earlier, see how it flowed together. The conversation was all about how do we really connect truthfully and sacredly with ourselves and with others and expand our kingdom, to the now generation. And it just such a beautiful magic can happen when we drop the identity, drop the images, and begin to just develop and discover who we truly are as men. Design your own kingdom, create your own reality, go within, you'll never go without. And that's how you get I believe that's how we get the sacred connection. Just want to give a special shout out to Helping Men Heal LLC for sponsoring the show. Thank you so very much. If you guys are interested in more of Pure Awareness and other programs here at Kaku Studio, give us a call, 808-873-3435. We'll talk to you soon. Love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Yee! Namaste, party people in the place to be. Imanon Wanderer here, the host of Pure Awareness, a show where I talk about masculinity, mental health from a holistic perspective. My guests are local and global pioneers in their communities. So make sure you tune in Thursdays at 11 a.m. and don't forget to catch the replay on Saturday at 7 a.m. only on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. Love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Yay!
Aloha, I'm Chivo Ching Johnson. Today on the Maui Daily, a new